HH Pamilian, and I will be for this topic, issues and challenges in emerging literature. So, before we will go on to our topic, the issues and challenges in emerging literature, let us first define what emergent literature means. So, emergent literature are contemporary body of text that is gaining momentum in the global literary landscape. It breaks the traditional way of writing and uses unconventional techniques such as pictures, images, comic book format, and it is also have new genre of scholarly discourse such as online collaboration, academic blogs, websites, and e-prints. So this literature deals with current themes or issues. So here are some of the main issues affecting writers and the writing professional today. So we have first, too many writers. So today, everyone who has learned to quickly tap their fingers on the keyboard can easily think of themselves as a writer. Everyone who's created a website, and this is extremely easy and quick to do these days with the help of designer and to do it their self website builder can already assume that they took the first step to become a writer and attract readers. Similarly, everyone who regularly writes something on their blog or who has profiles on social media might already consider themselves worthy of a place among the world list of renowned writers, despite not actually writing any classics. A thing is that technology has disrupted everything in such a way that there are no longer strict rules on entry into the literary world. It now doesn't really matter if you have a real talent or not. Anyone can easily call themselves as writer and point to a self-published book. In fact, it doesn't even matter that those self published works are far from true workers of literature in its best sense. There are way too many writers today. The internet is also teeming with long manuals on topic like how to write a book if I cannot write, how to convince the publisher that your book is worthy of attention, how to write a book in a week, and lot more fantastic nonsense that only provokes Pisidu writer to write even more in the hope of being noticed and published. This is concerning issue of the 21st century because real talent is drowning in the sea of untalented crowd of vulnerable writers who are constantly being argued to keep churn out books when the harsh truth is that they are not talented or cut out of it. A real talented writer to do has a harder time proving their potential in this very difficult condition where so many untalented people publish poor quality books. So why is it there are many writers in today's generation? It is just because there are many easy ways that can make or publish a book, especially are on the product of different technology in which we can access internet in just typing or searching some points. A thing is that technology has disrupted everything in such a way that there are no longer strict rules of entry into the literary world. That is why many of writers now are issued by copywriting their own published poem, books, a story, and etc. We will never consider ourselves as a writer without giving hard time to do our own stories, and you can never appreciate the word being writer if you don't have the passion to do it with your own. So next we have the second part of issues in emerging literature, we have too much competition. You might wonder what the difference is between this and previous point, but there is a difference which can be considered the back of the same coin. The internet is full of mediocre writers and authors, but talented writers also exist. However, the talented writers are in short or insufficient supply. Thus, really talented writers have to fight at least two battles at once, one with those who just want to be called a writer, and with those who really have the talent and potential to be great writers and authors. And also, the many different ways to promote your creativity and writings on the internet make the competition between countless real and fake talents stronger than ever before. So this second one issue, this says that in order to know the real one and fake writers, we must consider their capabilities, knowledge, and their strength in making a book, poem, or being a real author of it. This will measure nor to test a writer that has a real passion in writing. In this way, we can notice the difference between a writer and a copycat writer. So next, we have the third one, the too much reuse and copied ideas. Taking into account the amount of information that is produced and reproduced on the internet daily, it is really hard to come up with something new. If 100 years ago the authors had great scope for creativity and imagination, today one can argue that we've already covered everything and published books on all possible topics and genre. Each idea any writer might consider has arguably already been written, transcribed, adapted, translated, and chewed hundreds of thousands of times. It is almost impossible to come up with something truly unique. But there is a flip side to this. If you manage to create something new, then you are almost granted instant success. Uniqueness in modern literature is quite rare in the 21st century. Also, modern authors today have to compete in another way too. They had to contented with establish and their own unique authorial styles. Fortunately, this is something that just cannot be copied, that characterized by interesting plot twists, unexpected literary tricks, atypical characters, and so on. So this third one, from one generation to another generation, the information will be transformed. Too much reuse of ideas can build a misunderstanding by the reader, and because of the information are changing and reowned, copied ideas are no longer unique, and there is no interesting twist at all. So that's all of my report. The next reporter will continue the issues with together with the challenges of this emerging literature. So thank you.